She sat quietly at the corner of the small cafe, her hands trembling slightly as she stirred her coffee. It wasn't nervousness exactly, more like that familiar unease that came when you hoped for something better but prepared for disappointment. Her name was Emily, a 33-year-old single mother who had finally decided to give dating another chance after years of heartbreak. She wasn't looking for a fairy tale anymore. Just someone kind, genuine, and willing to see her for who she really was. But what happened that evening would test her heart more than she expected, and ultimately touch millions around the world. The blind date begins. When Ryan walked in, she immediately recognized him from the photo. Tall, well-dressed, confident, maybe a bit too sure of himself. He greeted her with a polite smile, but his eyes held a flicker of judgment she couldn't quite ignore. They exchanged small talk, jobs, hobbies, the usual pleasantries. For a brief moment, Emily thought, maybe this won't be so bad, but as soon as she mentioned her son, 7-year-old Liam, Ryan's entire demeanor changed. He leaned back in his chair and chuckled. "Oh, you're a single mom?" he said, almost amused. "Didn't the app say you had a kid?" "I must have missed that part." Emily smiled softly. "Yes, I did mention it. He's my whole world." Ryan shrugged and took a sip of his drink. "Right, but don't you think it's kind of unfair to expect someone to take that on? I mean, you've already lived that part, haven't you?" Her smile faltered. "What do you mean?" He smirked. "No offense, but most guys want something fresh. Not used goods." The pain of words, the words hit her like a slap. Used goods. He said it casually, as though it were a simple truth rather than a cruel insult. Emily froze, unsure whether to cry, yell, or just walk away. She'd faced judgment before. People assuming she was broken because she was raising her child alone. But hearing it so bluntly from someone she barely knew stung more than she expected. Still, she stayed calm. She'd learned long ago that dignity was more powerful than rage. "You know," she said quietly, "it's interesting how some people think being loved once makes you less worthy of love again." Ryan laughed under his breath. "Hey, I'm just being honest. I'm sure you're nice, but I'm not looking to be someone's second chance." She nodded slowly, stood up and placed her napkin on the table. "And I'm not looking for someone who can't recognize real strength when it's sitting right in front of him." Then she walked out, heartbroken. Yes, but proud of herself for not shrinking under his cruelty. An unexpected witness. What Emily didn't realize was that someone else had been sitting a few tables away. A man named Daniel, quietly sipping his coffee, waiting for his takeout order. Daniel was a single dad too, raising his daughter after losing his wife 3 years earlier. He'd overheard most of the conversation. He saw the way Emily tried to keep her composure, the way she smiled through pain. Something in that moment struck a chord deep within him. When she walked past his table, eyes glistening, he caught her attention gently. "Hey," he said softly, "you handled that better than most would have." "He didn't deserve your time." Emily gave a faint smile. "Thank you. I just wish people wouldn't see single parents as broken." Daniel nodded. "We're not broken," he said. "We're just people who already know what real love looks like, and we're brave enough to try again." A new connection. Something about his words eased her heart. They talked briefly about their kids, their daily struggles, the odd beauty of balancing parenthood and hope. It wasn't romantic right away. It was just honest. For once, Emily didn't feel judged. Before she left, Daniel said, "If you ever need someone to talk to about parenting, not dating, I'd be happy to listen." He handed her his number scribbled on a napkin. She hesitated for a moment, then smiled. "Maybe I'll take you up on that." That night, Emily went home and told herself not to overthink it. Maybe it was just kindness from a stranger. Still, something about his words stayed with her. We're not broken. From pain to strength a few days later, Emily decided to share her story on social media, not to seek sympathy, but to speak up for every single parent who had ever been made to feel less than. She wrote, "A man called me used goods on a blind date because I have a child. But what he doesn't know is that I am stronger because I've loved, lost, and kept going. My child isn't baggage. He's my greatest blessing." Within hours, her post went viral. Thousands of single parents began commenting, sharing their own stories of rejection, resilience, and self-worth. The story spread across platforms, picked up by bloggers and news outlets, and then someone noticed. Daniel saw her post too. He recognized her words and left a simple comment. "You didn't just handle that moment, you inspired thousands. Proud of you." That comment alone gained thousands of likes. People started asking who Daniel was, and when he finally shared that he'd been there that night, the internet fell in love with the story. The viral moment a few weeks later, a local news station reached out to interview them both. They sat side by side, their story now a symbol of kindness, courage, and dignity. When the reporter asked Emily what she had learned from all of this, she smiled. "I learned that you can't control what people say about you, but you can control what you believe about yourself. I believe I'm worthy, and so is every single parent doing their best." Then Daniel added, "Sometimes the right people notice you when the wrong ones walk away. Don't let cruelty define your worth." That quote, short, honest, powerful, spread like wildfire. Millions watched the clip. People cried, shared, and thanked them for reminding the world that single parents are heroes, not leftovers. The challenge and the choice life wasn't magically perfect after that. Both Emily and Daniel faced daily challenges, juggling work, school schedules, bills, and moments of exhaustion. They doubted themselves sometimes, wondering if happiness was truly possible after heartbreak. But they made a choice, to keep showing up for their kids and for each other. Slowly, their friendship turned into something more, not built on grand gestures, but on quiet understanding. One evening, at the same cafe where it all began, Daniel reached across the table and said, "I think the universe put me at that coffee shop for a reason." Emily laughed softly. "You mean because of that awful date?" He smiled. "No, because it led me to you. The message that touched millions months later." Emily posted one last message online. "To anyone who's been judged for their past, when you are not used goods. You are experienced in love. You've known sacrifice, strength, and resilience. The right person will never make you feel ashamed of that." That message became the closing line of countless motivational videos, shared by parents, coaches, and storytellers worldwide. Emily's pain had become her purpose. Her story a reminder that kindness is not weakness, and that love always finds its way back to those who believe in it. Final message, narration to audience. If you've ever been judged for your past, for your mistakes, or for the things you carry, remember this: you are not broken. You are brave. The right person will see your scars and call them beautiful. Don't let anyone's cruelty define your worth. Keep your heart open, and one day, you'll understand why you had to go through the pain. It was leading you to something better. If this story touched your heart, let us know in the comments below. Tell us what does kindness mean to you? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Be Kind Always. Because our world needs more stories that heal, inspire, and remind us all that compassion still exists.